Ahoy everyone, my name is theSirhc and welcome back to another episode here on the Colonies, my single-player Minecraft world. We're going to be starting today's episode by giving this place a name, and that name is Salt Cliff. Woohoo! Maybe we'll add an E, just because that looks fancier. Salt Cliff Town Hall. I love it so much. That is a great name, suggested by 133MC the other day while I was streaming, and yeah, it fits this area so well. I mean, we're salty, we're by the sea, lots of salt in the air. We also have all these wonderful cliffs around. I mean, even like on the side over here, it's all cliff face, but obviously we have this giant cliff over here, which is actually the reason why we built in this area, why we started the whole series in this area. I picked that island as the spawn point because because I like that little island, but also I love this cliff here, and this little opening here really caught my eye and gave me lots of ideas. In fact, I have quite a few ideas for what to do, like with this area specifically, but that is for another day. Today we're going to be continuing work on the town square here, starting kind of in the middle of the city, and we'll work our way out from there. We have a new build. Ooh, isn't it fancy? It's just a regular house, but oh, look at that. We even have interiors. Man, theSirhc is just going above and beyond today. Isn't it fantastic? I like the way it turned out, and we're gonna build maybe a couple more houses today. But I've done some planning here. As you can tell, we have some roads figured out going right to the town hall. We also have another big building over here planned out. This is going to be the church, and I think I have a very neat idea for this, and I'm excited to work on that, but that will be later as well. Over here in the middle of town square, we're gonna have a fountain. I might even make it smaller than this so we have plenty of space around it, because I want to put some market stalls, and then these buildings back here are going to be shops. So this will be a nice place for the townspeople to meet up and to purchase their goods as well. Let's get started over here on this building. I'm actually gonna move this, I'm gonna shift this over one block, move it towards the hill and away from this road in the middle. And we're gonna continue working on this kind of build by build, taking each build on its own. It's kind of my new approach, I guess, to this whole thing. Not really anything revolutionary, but in the past when I've built villages, a lot of things, or the main thing I do is I make passes through the whole village. As you can see over in Rockwall, I went and like kind of got the main structures for all the houses built, got the roofs for all the houses built, all the exteriors for all the houses built, and then I kind of stopped there and didn't do any like interiors because by then I was like burnt out. I had already spent a lot of time on the build, and I'm hoping that this kind of keeps my interest, keeps the motivation up. One thing that's going to be great about this is which I'm already kind of experiencing, is that once we get a build done, it's done, and we can look at it and we can kind of get an idea of what the final thing is gonna look like, what our final product is gonna be like. Whereas over there, I've already put a bunch of work over on Rockwall. I don't know why I keep coming over here. You can't see it, but I've already put a bunch of work over there in Rockwall, and it still looks very incomplete, it's just no fun, and it kind of kills the motivation. And every time I walk through there, I see a lot of work that needs to be done rather than a bunch of little complete builds. I think building this way might take slightly longer because I have to constantly like change what blocks I have and sort of change building mindsets as well, from like the main structure, roof, exterior, interior. But at the end of the day, instead of having like a bunch of not done buildings, I will have like a small area or a few houses that are done and I can look at and again just sort of get a sense of what the finished product is going to look like. I'm getting this house built up, and it's coming along very nicely. I like the way it's turning out. I wanted to briefly talk about the build style we're doing here, though. It is very similar to what I have done in the past many times. And I'm not sure if that's really a good thing. I don't want to be just treading the same water all the time. And I'm a little afraid of these houses becoming too similar to each other. But I'm not sure how much variety I want to mix into this town. There's definitely a fine line between every house being a carbon copy of each other and having too much, diversity that the builds don't like mesh very well. They don't really feel connected at all, and they sort of feel out of place. You kind of have to find the area between that, which I guess it's probably not that fine of a line now that I think about it, but still, it's something to keep in mind. And I've been watching a lot of Fwip lately. He has definitely become my favorite Minecrafter over the last year or so. His single player world is amazing. I love watching that series. He does so much work. It is insane. He's got 2 different castles on his single player world built in survival. They both look amazing. Plus he's building a giant city, and he's got lots of different little villages, or at least a few different villages, towns, cities. And it's really inspiring. And I love the build style that he does. He does a great job of giving a lot of variety to his villages, his towns, but also everything feels connected. And I suppose part of that is just the fact that he's the one building it, and he kind of sticks to somewhat of a style. And I think what impresses me most about his style is his ability to build houses on diagonals and at angles. It really makes the builds feel slightly more organic. They still have structure to them, but they fit the areas that they're in really well. And it makes the build so interesting, and it adds so much variety to his cities. And it kind of got me thinking about what we're doing here and about how I build, and maybe I should try and change things up and do more like he does. But I don't think that's the best idea necessarily. I don't want to go around just copying other people. I don't want to copy Fwip's style, and I'm sure lots of people are building in similar styles to him, but I still associate that with Fwip. I associate that style with Fwip. And I think it's more important that we kind of develop our own style. And what we're doing here is definitely more in line with my style. I've been building like this for a very long time. I'm not saying that I developed this style of building. I definitely stole it from people. I definitely copied it at one point, but I've sort of transformed it into my own a little bit, and I'm going to continue to kind of transform it. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to take inspiration from what Fwip does, but I don't want to completely just change, how I build and what we're doing here. I especially on this city, this is kind of our central city. And to be honest, I've been trying to build a large city, connected, immersive, for a long time. And a lot of times when I've done it in a similar style to these houses. And I really just want to accomplish that. It's something that I've never accomplished, and I'd like to actually do it. So that's kind of our goal here, is to finally, I guess, realize that dream. I have a dream that one day we'll have a connected city in this. It's kind of a medieval Tudor style that we got going on here, and I really enjoy it. I like the mixture of stone and wood, and how we have these little jut outs on the bottom. And to be honest, I don't know if I could ever really do the houses on an angle. I like things being very orderly and a certain way. I like things being neat and kind of I'm not really sure how to say it, but I guess I like houses to have a certain like design to them, almost a logic to them. Like here we have these stone brick pillars sort of supporting this bottom part, and we have like these feet adding extra strength to the foundation. And here we have like the logs kind of extended out, you know, they're not supported. We have some stairs here kind of helping to support this little overhang. And that's sort of the way I build. That's kind of the way I think. And I think it's important to keep some of that even as we grow and we change our style. You know, that's sort of the core way that I build. I don't know why I'm putting these on the bottom half of the block, and that's probably not the best idea because we won't be able to actually build anything up there. Anyways, let's take a look at this build we have going on here. I think I've got the structure all done and the interior is laid out. We just got to do some decorating, and I like it. I think it turned out pretty well. It's definitely different than our first house, and yet they feel, you know, connected and similar. We got a lot of similar block choices here. Obviously this one is much bigger. We have a big 3-story house. I wanted to keep this one small over here so that it wouldn't block the view of the town hall. We want to make sure that that stays a nice central focal point. So like if this house were as tall as this one, when you're coming down here, you wouldn't be able to see a lot of this town hall. It would be like that whole right side would be blocked off. But here, since we're farther away, I was able to increase the scale of this build. We've also got slightly different woods going on. We're using the dark oak instead of the spruce for our main logs. And the roof design, I guess that roof is similar to that roof design with the dark oak border and the spruce on the inside. This one's got slightly different where it's just got the dark oak coming down. It's coming down where these logs are. I think on the back side you can see that too, coming down where that log comes up. That's one thing I really need to play around with, is changing up how the roofs look, the different designs to them. Maybe we might even go back in here and make these slightly more intricate and more interesting. One thing I want to mention is these bone blocks. I like them. I like using that white to kind of add highlights to the build, but those are probably temporary. I'd like to get some more like color in here, especially with some terracotta, but we don't have any terracotta at the moment. So I'll be probably changing that out in the future. But for now, I like it enough. It works. So down here, we just have a big open main floor design. We'll add some sort of kitchen here, and maybe we could even start doing some decorating. I think I have my blocks in here. So we have like a furnace, we got cauldrons. What about crafting tables? I got those on me. And we have bookshelves, chests. Let's grab some of these things. So we could do a furnace. I don't know, we got the stone brick there, so that almost makes me want to put a furnace there. Maybe a cauldron there. Could put the kitchen over more towards this side. And then over here we could put some sort of table. Do I have... That would be in one of these other ones. Which one? I think it's this one. Yes. So I've been using these birch trapdoors for the tables quite a bit, and the oak stairs for the chairs. I don't know if I should keep that consistent through the whole place or mix up some different woods. I think I need to get some jungle and acacia in here as well. You know, I'm not a big fan of using those in the builds, but for furniture, it's nice to get those different types of woods. Which reminds me also, I think I'm going to use... I don't want to stray too far away from the dark oak and spruce. I really like these colors together, but I do need to mix in other woods, possibly oak at least, get a little bit lighter than what we have here. But anyways, let's keep moving. So I think that might be fine for down here for now. I'll have to come here and add some extra stuff. And then we have the second floor here, a little bit of a divider. And I think back here we're going to have, I think this area is going to be sort of a den study area. So we're going to have lots of bookshelves. Maybe I'll just pile a whole bunch in right now. Let's just pile a whole bunch in right now. And I can add some tables around here. I think I'm going to want some spruce stairs. Not spruce, birch stairs. Even something small like this I think works pretty well. So back here we have a little bedroom. Let's grab a bed. I think they're in here. Maybe let's do a magenta. Sure, why not? So I think we'll stick that there. And then I want to put some sort of end table. Or maybe we should put this in front of the window. No, I think I like that up against the wall. Or we could do that. That actually, I think, makes more sense to me. And then we could either do... I always like to put an end table near a bed. We could either do an upside down stair or a workbench. Maybe we'll put a workbench here. Got a nice big window to look out there. Let's head upstairs. We got this really cool... I like the way that this staircase worked out. I think it's very interesting here. And then here it splits off left and right. Both go to just some bedrooms. So we got 3 bedrooms in this place. Let's grab... Oh, I can't open that up. Let's do that. There we go. Let's grab a light gray bed. I think we'll put that there. And then maybe we'll give this one a stair end table. And then over this way, we have another bedroom. And I guess the bed should be back here. Let's grab maybe an orange bed. Sure. I think that makes the most sense. It's going to be in the way if we put it over here. Unless we put it right here. And then I just block that up. I could even put a couple of beds in here if I really wanted to. But I don't know. That just seems in an odd space. I think that works better for this area. And then again, we can go in. Maybe I don't think I'd put an end table on this one. It would get too cramped. We could put maybe some bookshelves back there. Do some reading in bed. And I'll have to come in here and do add a bunch more stuff. There we go. I got some decorating done. This place is looking a bit more polished, a bit more lived in. We got armor stands with some clothes, paintings everywhere, chests, flowers. I'm liking it. It looks really nice. I like this cactus just sitting out here in the hallway. Oh yeah. I'm really happy with this new approach of just taking every house on their own and really trying to make each one feel unique and different, and also completing them as we go. I think it's gonna really help us here in the future. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with windows yet in these places. Right now I got these fence gates as kind of shutters. I like the idea of them, but I don't really like how they look in all the spots. So I don't know if I want to play around with some glass panes or fences or what, but I'll have to mess around with that a little bit. Definitely some things to figure out yet. These houses aren't completely done, but they do look nice, don't they? I think so. So let's end off the episode here with the comment. I didn't read one last episode, but most of them from the previous video were along these lines, you know, where are you? And I kind of talked about that last episode, so we're just going to have that for last week's comment, or last episode's comment. This episode's comment is from Forestman1, or Forestman1. Amazing build. Again, looks like something that would be in Windcraft. I like the cramped look. Paintings might help some of the blank walls. And yes, we have added some paintings. We can kind of take a look through here. And of course, I definitely take a lot of inspiration. You know, we were talking about inspiration earlier. Definitely take a lot of inspiration from Windcraft. That's one reason why I played on the server for so long. It was because it was so much fun to explore all of these places. And it's one thing that really inspired me to start this series. Windcraft and BOO really inspired me to try and create a big immersive world that you can explore. And so yeah, I'm sure a lot of my stuff will always be slightly inspired by that. There was a lot of builders, amazing builders, involved in that project on that server. But anyways, that's going to do it for today. Hope you guys have enjoyed another episode here on the Colonies, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, folks.